Hey everyone, and welcome back. I'm Rick Fussell and this is the Ingrain Workshop. A couple weeks ago I made a video on how to make an American flag cross out of a fence picket. In this week's video we're going to be making an American flag bottle opener out of a fence picket. That's coming up next here at the Ingrain Workshop. Okay, so similar to the flag cross project I did a couple of weeks ago, you're going to need some of the similar items. You're going to need a 1-inch star template. You're going to need a pack of 50 wood 1-inch stars. You're going to need a bottle opener that has a magnet built into it. You're going to need some Minwax stain. This is navy and barn red. And that's pretty much all you're going to need, except for, of course, the 6-foot fence picket to build the flag bottle opener. Now, I don't know how many I'm going to be able to get out of this fence picket, but at the end of this video, I'll let you know how many I was able to build from a single fence picket. They're great gift ideas. And great projects to throw on Etsy or Facebook Marketplace to make a little extra income. So that's pretty much all the material that you're going to need. I'll leave links in the video description below to where you can pick this up on Amazon and also the cost of all this. So let's get started with the fence picket. We're going to go over to the miter saw. We're going to cut the dog ears off and go from there. So we're going to start here at the miter saw, and the only thing I'm going to do for right now is just cut the dog ears off the fence picket. So here at the planer, we're going to take and we're just going to plane both sides of the fence picket just to give it a somewhat smooth surface and to keep us from having to do as much sanding. So we're probably just going to remove this rough grain from both sides of the fence picket. So next, back here at the miter saw, I've taken and measured 13¼ inches from the end of the board, and this is where I'm going to make my cut. This is going to be the length of our bottle opener. So I'm going to take and just start cutting at 13¼ to see how many bottle openers that I can get out of this one fence picket. So it looks like out of one fence picket you'll be able to get 5 bottle openers. Now back here at the table saw, I'm going to utilize my joiner jig just to join one edge on the fence post, and then I'll take and use that joined edge, put it up against the fence, and then join the other edge. That way both my edges of the fence post will be properly joined. If you want to know how to do this, I've got a joiner jig video in my jig playlist, so check it out, and I'll also try to leave a link, I believe, here in the video as well. Okay, so now you should have 5 bottle opener boards that roughly measure 13¼ by 5½ to 5¾ Again, I haven't cut the widths down to size, But here at the table saw next, we're going to take and cut the stripes of the flag, and we're going to cut those at 1 5/8 inch wide, and that's going to be the width of our stripes by 13 1/4. So let's go ahead and cut out the stripes. There should be 3 stripes per bottle opener. So next here at the router table with a chamfer bit in the router, I'm going to take and lay them out to get the best grain pattern. And then what I'm going to do next is just route an 1/8 inch chamfer around the entire perimeter of the bottle opener. And I'm going to do this for all 5 bottle openers. Now that we've got the 1/8 inch chamfer cut around the perimeters of each bottle opener, we're going to take now with a torch and just slightly burn the stripes just to give it that rustic look, and that will also be the color for our white stripes, and then that will accent the red in the red stripes and then the blue in the union. So that's what I'm going to do next, is go ahead and torch all 5 bottle openers. So I'm using razor blades here to establish the transition between the union side and the stripes. Now you can use painter's tape as well. Just be very careful. If you're using painter's tape, you do have a chance of it bleeding through. I just find with the razor blades, you don't get any bleeding of the stain from the union side to the stripe side. So that's why I always go with the razor blades. Okay, now that we have the union painted blue, the stripes are red, and then the natural color for the white on the stripes, the next thing we're going to do is start the glue up process. So all of these are going to be used for interior purposes. So during the glue up process, I'm just going to use Titebond 2. But if these were going to be used for exterior, which they could because they're made out of fence post material, then I would probably go with Titebond 3 for an exterior glue that's going to be more weather resistant. So while our flags are gluing up, I'm going to take this time and go ahead and take out the pack of 51-inch stars that I got from Amazon, and I'll leave a link in the video description below to where you can get these. What we're going to have to do with these wooden stars is go ahead and burn those just like we did for the stripes. So I'm going to need a total of 25. It's 5 for each bottle opener. So I'm going to go ahead and burn the 25 wooden 1-inch star. Okay, now that we have our flags / bottle openers out of the clamps, they're all glued up and ready to go. The next thing we're going to do is route a keyhole slot on the back of these so we can hang them on the wall. And I've already taken just a blank template and used this to set up the keyhole slot in the router over at the router table. And I've got my stops set up so it lets me know where to start the cut and where to end the cut. And I'll show you that over at the router table. Okay, so here at the router table, I have my front stop and my back stop set in place. And then I have my fence located so the bottle opener will be directly over the center of the key slot bit. And then I've got it measured down 2.5 inches from the top. That's where I'm going to make the initial hole. And then we're going to slot it 3/4 of an inch up. So I'll use the front stop to set my location to where to set the piece on. Once I get the piece on, I'll slide it back to the back stop. This way I can make repetitive cuts and it makes cutting the keyhole slots a lot more efficient. So let's go ahead and get these keyhole slots cut. Okay, now that we have all the keyhole slots cut in the back of the flag bottle openers, the next thing we're going to do is take our stars that we burnt and go ahead and using a hot glue gun, we're going to fasten the stars to the actual bottle openers using a template. This is a 1-inch flag template from Amazon. I believe it's about $7, $8. I'll leave a link in the video description below. And I'm simply going to lay it out because I want to lay it out in a way that I can just get whole stars on the bottle opener. I don't want to have to cut the stars. And I think that by orientating the template in this manner, I should be able to get 6 stars on each bottle opener. And I'll zoom in and let you look. And I'm just going to take an awl and just mark the center location of the stars, and then just take a hot glue gun and adhere the stars to the actual bottle openers. Okay, so after zooming in using the template, I think I can get away with just using 5 stars per bottle opener. And what I'm going to do is just center it here. The top star is about 1/2 of a star, so I'm just not going to use that. That way it won't look as busy. And just use these 5 stars here. I think it'll be symmetrical and look a lot nicer. So I'm just going to mark them with the awl. And next I'm going to take my hot glue gun and just glue the stars to the bottle opener. Okay, so now that we have the stars attached to the union, I think the next step we're going to do is take and just finish it with some high gloss, clear gloss lacquer. That's what we're going to be using. I'm going to put on probably 2 to 3 coats, and then I'm going to sand between coats with some 4-aught steel wool. So that's what we're going to do next. Once we get the finish applied and dried, the only thing left to do at that point will be to fasten the bottle opener to the actual flag. Okay, now that we have the lacquer dry, I've got 2 coats. I put 1 coat on, let it dry for a couple hours, scuffed it down with some double alt steel wool, and then put a final coat on it and let it set up for a couple hours. So now we're ready to install the actual bottle opener on the flag. And this is from Amazon. It's a 5-pack, so it's going to work out perfect since we were able to build 5 flags out of 1 fence picket. I'll leave a link in the video description below where you can pick these up. They were $17 for a 5-pack, and they come with the antique look. And they also have built-in magnets on the back to capture your bottle cap. So the next thing we're going to do is install the bottle opener to the flag, and then that should pretty much wind up the bottle opener flag. I will note that the screws that came with the bottle openers are a little too long. I think they're 3/4 of an inch, and I've probably got about maybe 5/8 of an inch thick. So you will have to trim down the screws so they don't go all the way through the back, but that's not a problem. Okay, so this is the final product. I just mounted it to the side of my fridge out here in the workshop. One thing was pretty obvious when I went to mount it. It wasn't sturdy enough with just the 1 keyhole. So with my fence set up at the router table and my stops still in place from the previous keyhole, I just routed another keyhole in the bottom. I didn't have to adjust my fence or stops. I just reversed the board and cut the bottom keyhole. So now the board is on the fridge with no problem, and now you can use it as a bottle opener. And now you can use it as a bottle opener as long as you're using the right kind of bottle. And see how the magnets hold the bottle cap? That's a really nice feature with these bottle openers. Well, that's going to wrap up this video. I hope this video kind of give you some ideas on how you could make these for either holiday gifts, birthday gifts, or possibly to be able to sell these on Etsy or Facebook Marketplace. I'm going to post mine on Etsy for about $20 to $25 and just see how that goes. I don't think this is a bad deal for $6 in material invested plus however you value your labor. If you like this video, then I please ask that you leave it a like and a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel and you like DIY and woodworking projects, then I highly recommend that you smash that subscribe button. It's free and painless. And I'd also ask that you click on that bell icon. That way you'll be notified of all our upcoming videos. To all my existing subscribers, I really appreciate all the support that you've given this channel. I'll leave links in the video description below to where you can pick up the material used in this project. As always, I'm Rick with the Ingrain Workshop. Until next time, have a wonderful day and God bless.